Hey everyone, an authoritarian is an authoritarian is authoritarian, and to deny that is literally to deny reality. And Bill Blair is definitely an authoritarian, an immoral one at that. I mean, already, before I even delve into this article, just think about the fact that this was a fucking police chief in Ontario. I mean, this guy put more people away, for smoking or growing or distributing a plant, aka marijuana, cannabis, pot, whatever you want to call it, weed, right? Oh, you were totally trying to play it. Oh, it's a bad thing. Weed is bad. Drugs are bad, okay? We're going to incarcerate you. We're going to lock you in a cage. We're going to destroy your life. We're going to take a whole lot of money from you. We're going to run you through the court process. We're going to humiliate you and treat you like a second-class citizen because you smoke, grow, cultivate, or distribute a plant. But once the government, once Trudeau, once his political master said, oh, no, it's okay to do that, all of a sudden Bill Blair, oh, really? Okay. Yeah, forget all that bullshit I said in the past. So he's a fucking complete hypocrite. 100% hypocrite. Piece of shit, authoritarian hypocrite. I wish he was standing there in front of my fucking face so I could say to him, Bill, you are an authoritarian piece of shit, and no wonder you're a government lackey, because you lack any brain capacity to think critically, obviously. And this article I'm going to reference is just further proof of that. Headline out of CBC News Politics, Blair wants to make cabinet pitch on possible handgun ban within 2 weeks. Also now, piece of shit Blair, Mr. Authoritarian, now he's all about, oh, we're going to create or figure out a way where we can fucking ban guns. Where we can punish and penalize and criminalize people that haven't done one fucking thing wrong, just like people that smoke, grow, or cultivate, or distribute a plant, people that own a gun, that haven't caused harm to anyone, right, or not using it as preemptive means to violently oppress or oppose people, unlike fucking Bill Blair and his fucking police, that thin blue line. Like I say, you want to talk about gun control? How about you take away the guns from these pieces of shit that constantly want to rule over our social and economic lives? No, Bill Blair's not saying, hey, is Bill Blair saying, hey, let me read in this article. I wonder if Bill Blair's saying, let's disarm the RCMP. Let's disarm the OPP. You know, those fucking dipshits that cattled or corralled all the people during the G20 protests and treated the Canadian citizens as if they were just, like I say, not just chattel, but serf subjects and slaves, right? They had no pretense of genuine rights afforded them. But like I say, these fucking hypocrites, like I say, Canada, these are the kind of people that I don't give a shit where your political alliances resides. The reason why we need to get rid of all of the establishment, all of them, every single one of them, is because, like I say, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And the liberals and the conservatives and the end dippers, I mean, the end dippers to a lesser degree, but we all know how authoritarian those dipshits would be if they ever got as much power as they have in a few other opportunistic examples, such as Alberta. But yeah, we've understood, if you're paying attention at all, you understand that these entrenched political parties and these hacks that represent them are the ones that are causing the true harm in our societies, both socially and economically. Get rid of these fucking dipshits completely, and you'll see that actually a whole lot of the problems that you think are really severe and something we need to concern ourselves with, they'll somehow be gone. The problems will fix all by themselves by sheer fact that we don't give these dipshits any pretense of authority over us. Border Security Minister wraps consultations on tackling gun control. Border Minister, fuck. This is the guy, like I say, in charge of the, I mean, fuck, roll across the border, to the tune of tens of thousands every year, breaking international law, Canadian law, crossing the border illegally. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, can I get a photo op? Hey, can I get some millions of dollars from the federal government or the Ontario government and show, look, I'm stealing from the Canadian or the Ontario taxpayers or the Quebec taxpayers to pay for these fucking illegals. Oh, look how benevolent I am, right? Like I say, a bunch of fucking hypocrites. No, this guy's got to go. He's got to go. That's why he's just one more. Trudeau's bad enough. Morneau's bad enough. Want to economically enslave you. But I mean, yeah. This guy wants to tackle, oh, there's gun crimes. Well, guess who's doing all that crime there? Bill, have you acknowledged, when I read this article, is Bill going to acknowledge where all that crime's happening, or the majority of that crime's happening? Is he going to at least acknowledge the fact that that's gang-related crimes? And do you think gang members are going to line up to fucking hand in their illegally purchased guns? You dipshit. No, all Bill Blair is what virtuous things. That's what these authoritarian fucking, and don't call them liberals because there's nothing liberal about them, but these authoritarians is what they are. Like I say, whether they come from the left or right, I mean, you can put whatever badge or fucking label on them as you want, but they're authoritarians. The minute they say that they want to penalize and punish and criminalize people that have not done anything wrong, but because of some other people might use the same instrument for nefarious or bad or evil intentions or reasons, that's the minute you say, no, you get the fuck out of Dodge, and I don't want to see your face ever again when it comes to how this country is governed. The federal minister tasked with studying a handgun ban for Canada hopes to make a recommendation to cabinet within the next 2 weeks. Minister of Border Security and Organized Crime Reduction, Bill Blair, has spent the last several months consulting with stakeholders across the country, looking for ways to restrict access to firearms for gang members and other criminals. We've completed the study and we're compiling the results, and I'll be going before the cabinet in the coming weeks with results of the review and some recommendations, Blair said during the Trudeau government's cabinet retreat in Sherbrooke, Quebec. I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that just in the next 2 weeks. But again, it depends on a number of different important issues that have to be addressed by government. The minister will carry out final consultations in Quebec, Ontario, and Alberta in the coming days. Blair was tasked in his August 28, 2018 mandate letter with studying a full ban on handguns and assault weapons in Canada, working with Public Safety Minister Ralph Goodall on policy, regulations, and legislation related to gun control. The examination was launched after a string of high-profile gun-related deaths and injuries in Canadian cities, including Toronto and Montreal. Anyways, I mean, when you're talking about a gun ban, once again, I mean, you could try to put forth this kind of political rhetoric that, oh, you're just trying to go after the criminals or the gangs. But if you create something that's called a blanket ban or any kind of restrictions that affects people that have not caused harm to anyone, then you can't pretend that you're doing it for benevolent or moral reasons. At the very least, accept the fact that you're lazy, inept, and just want to use that, once again, one-size-fits-all approach to deal with some very serious issues that require a whole lot more than just throwing a blanket fucking ban on guns, which has never worked in all of human history. And even those times it has worked, all it has ever shown is the minute you disarm the entire population and leave them helpless and defensive, government becomes much more powerful, authoritarian, and dictatorial in how it deals with the population. And well, of course, a disarmed population, helpless people, and a very well-armed authoritarian regime, yeah, all you're creating is a whole lot of victims. And I guess a lot of people, whether you're from the left or the right, aren't you against victim culture? Aren't you against creating victims? Well, if you're against creating victims and creating a victim culture, then don't align with this fucking dipshit, whether you come from the left or the right politically. It's Canadian Libertarian, and I love liberty.